Thank you. You may be seated. Dr. the Most Honorable and Her Holiness Prime Minister of Jamaica, Commander Alvin Gale, Director General of ODPEM, Brigadier O'Neill Bogle, JDF, Colonel Assimi Manuel, Ghanaian Armed Forces, Antoinette Holman Tadeo, President, New Era Development Limited, members of the Jamaica Defense Force, and members of Ghana Armed Forces, colleagues of the ODPEM, all the members of the media, welcome to the Building Supplies Handover Ceremony here at the JDF Forward Operating Base in Loannis, St. Elizabeth. Today marks a significant moment in our continued efforts to strengthen national security and disaster resilience through meaningful partnerships. At this time, I'd like to invite Commander Gale, the Director General at the ODPEM, to bring the welcome remarks. Make him feel welcome.
Good afternoon, Dr. the Most Honorable and Her Holiness Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Honorable Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, Brigadier O'Neill Bogle, Support Brigade Commander, Colonel Emmanuel Asia, Contingent Commander of the Ghanaian Armed Forces, Ms. Antoinette Tadeo, President of the New Era Development Limited, colleagues, members of the Ghana Defense Force, members of the Jamaica Defense Force, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for spending time with us this afternoon. It is indeed a pleasure to welcome you here today for this ceremony to hand over equipment donated through our partners for the rebuilding efforts here in Jamaica. We are gathered here for a very meaningful purpose, one that really reflects partnership, preparedness, or shared responsibility to support national resilience. The recent impact of Hurricane Melissa has once again reminded us that Jamaica's vulnerability to multiple natural hazards and the critical reliance on timely and effective response and recovery interventions. Building supplies are not merely materials as we see them today. They represent the restoration of dignity and hope for affected communities as we rebuild homes, livelihoods, and confidence. The ODPEM remains committed to its mandate of coordinating disaster preparedness, response, recovery, and mitigation across the island of Jamaica. Our effectiveness is bolstered through collaboration with security forces, government ministries, departments, and agencies, other local authorities, and critically, members of the private sector. This handover exemplifies today the type of public-private partnership which is required and essential for a resilient Jamaica. I want to acknowledge New Era Development Limited and particularly express my thanks to them for the generosity and the timeliness of this donation as we cover or we seek to recover in this critical phase. Their donation today includes tool, personal protective equipment, and roofing materials, which will be used in the Jamaican space, particularly in the St. Elizabeth area. Mr. Day and her team have demonstrated today the corporate responsibility of not only giving us essential resources, but with genuine concern of supporting safe rebuilding and accelerating our recovery efforts. On behalf of the ODPEM, thank you, and I extend my heartfelt thanks for standing with the people of Jamaica during this difficult time. I also want to acknowledge the roles of the Jamaica Defense Force, the Ghanaian Armed Forces, the Guyanese Defense Force, as they assist us with recovering in the Western parishes. Thank you, sirs, for your leadership and the efforts of your troops at this particular time. I will now invite Mr. Dale to bring her remarks.
Good evening. The Most Honorable Prime Minister, members of government, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am truly honored to be a part of the Shelter Recovery Program an initiative that reflects our shared commitment to resilience, dignity, and nation building. While work continues, the progress achieved thus far is both meaningful and commendable, and it stands as a testament to what we can accomplish through collaboration and purpose. New Era Development remains steadfast in its commitment to building Jamaica. To date, we have invested over $160 million in building materials, tools to support the vital effort. I wish to extend my sincere gratitude to Tankwell Limited and National Supply Company Limited for their continued partnership and support. As we look ahead, I encourage other developers and private sector partners to join this initiative. Together, we have the opportunity to play an active role in rebuilding communities, strengthening livelihood, and contributing to Jamaica's sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Tadeo has over 20 years extensive experience in interior decorating and construction. And of course, the keynote address by our PM, 1 PM, affectionately known, the Dr. the Honorable Andrew Holness will now make his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Master of Ceremonies. Brigadier Bogle, our friend. Thank you so much, my brother, from the Guyanan Armed Forces Engineering Regiment. Representatives from the Guyana Engineering Corps who are here, and of course, the men and women of the Jamaica Defense Force. Commander Gale, I included you in the men and women of the Jamaica Defense Force, but I especially identify you as the Director General of ODPEM, our Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management Agency. But none of you are as special today as is Mrs. Antoinette Tadeo, representing New Era Homes, one of Jamaica's premier housing developers. This program, the government-directed roof repair program, is the beneficiary of the philanthropy of two large housing developers in Jamaica. Chemtech, which allocated from their resources $70 million worth of materials, and New Era, which contributed $160 million of tools and building materials. And that has given us a very good start towards the roof, the government-directed roof restoration program. I should also acknowledge that the government of Guyana, which undertook the restoration of 200 roofs, not just allocated the human resources. In other words, they didn't just send their engineers. They sent their engineers with a few shiploads of materials as well. In fact, this morning, I got a call from President Ali to tell me that there was another ship coming with material. And so I want to take this opportunity to thank the people of Guyana as well. I see some members of the Guyanese Engineering Corps looking around at each other, saying, it looks like our stay is going to be extended. But we say in Jamaica, gratitude is a must. And so we are here to give thanks. Antoinette, on behalf of the people of Jamaica, we want to give thanks to the New Era Development and their family for the great consideration and philanthropy towards the people of Jamaica. I'm sure the people of Luana, Middle Quarters, Akongpong, Bluefields, and White House, where work has already begun, I'm sure that they are most grateful. I should also say that we've seen that the engineering contingent from Rwanda landed, was it yesterday or the day before? and they are getting settled in, and I gather they will be deployed somewhere in St. James to assist communities there. So today is about giving thanks and also celebrating the philanthropy of the Jamaican business community that have contributed to this effort, and to acknowledge the support from our brothers in the region and from the African continent. I want to use this opportunity, however, to make a few points that would be beneficial to the general public. Yesterday, we launched the Roofs program, which is the conditional cash grant that we will give to persons who have been assessed by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security as being in need of either minor, moderate, or severe damage. And that program will start disbursing in the last week of this month. Now, there is another program which is ongoing, and that is, as I have mentioned before, the government-directed roof repair program, where we select certain communities where the government, through its engineering capabilities through the JDF and supported by volunteers from other engineering corps from Africa and regionally, will physically replace and repair roofs. Now, we know that we do not have enough manpower to do this on a wide scale. With the manpower we have, we could possibly do 400 to 500 roofs within a month or two. I see Brigadier Bogle looking at me and saying, wishful thinking. But I know if I give the command, you'll get it done. But realistically, we have to expand this core of engineers. So we can't rely wholly and solely on the engineering capabilities of the JDF and our volunteer partners. This is also an opportunity for us to train persons in carpentry. We're going to need the skills as we enter the reconstruction phase, when the real construction work begins. And right now, it is patently clear that we do not have enough skilled labor in the construction industry. So we are going to expand this program through the Heart Trust NSTA to bring on board trainees to work alongside the engineering corps so that there can be some transfer of skills. So out of this program, we are hoping that not only will we get roofs restored, but we will have at least a cadre of 100 or 200 trainee carpenters who can upskill and be integrated into the commercial world for construction. So that's another mission, Commander Bogle, that you should start to prepare for. Now, aside from that, we have been focusing extensively on roof restoration. But you will know that there are some houses that have been totally destroyed, and you have to build the base and the four walls before you can focus on roofs. We have purchased through the NHD and through the Ministry of Housing pre-built, modular, rapidly deployed housing solutions. The NHD has on order 2,500, and the Ministry of Housing has on order about 330. Those will require some amount of engineering support. Support to build the bases on which they will be anchored, support to fit them on the bases, and support to assemble. So this may very well be, Brigadier, another, as you say in the military, line of effort that you will have to pursue in support of our recovery. So, gentlemen, men and women of the JDF, your work is not only cut out, it is multiplying as the days go by. But I know that your motto is, yes, you can do it. I was hoping to hear a roaring positive response. Yes. But that's what engineering is. Engineering is, if nothing else, it is about finding the solution to a problem. Right? So I know you will figure out a way how to get all of this done. But the larger effort, as I have said, will be in the reconstruction. And in the reconstruction, we're not going to be incremental. It's not going to be unambitious effort. This side of the island has long been crying out for massive investments. The roadway that connects these parishes clearly is not sufficient to carry the level of traffic that uses the corridor. The entire corridor needs to be realigned, reconfigured, and not rebuilt, but built anew and built forward for the growth that we expect to happen in this area. The urban infrastructure, the towns, they need to be reconfigured and built smarter. Our hospitals, they need to be rebuilt and built in areas that are not susceptible to weather and climate change events. Our police stations, our municipal buildings, all of those have to be rebuilt. But it will not only be a rebuilding of infrastructure. What we are planning is to build a new economy for these damaged parishes. Because you can't build a road to nowhere. Whatever you build must support the emergence of a stronger economy. And what are the economic drivers here? They've always been here, but the economy has not really supported it. Tourism. And under tourism, you have several subsectors. Health tourism, sports tourism, festivals. Great opportunity for tourism. Agriculture. Minister Green is here, and we did start investment in agriculture by investing in irrigation, because agriculture relies heavily on irrigation and ensuring that the arable land is actually irrigated. And we were already down the wicket. We're going to go much more in that. But we can't continue with agriculture that is susceptible to the vicissitudes of climate and weather events. We have to introduce technology into our agriculture that makes it robust and makes it enduring. And we will be looking at introducing agriculture more on a planned, structured, industrial scale, because we have the capabilities here in this region. So things like, for example, greenhouse farming, eggs, poultry, all of these are things that we need to invest in a significant way. Logistics, light manufacturing, all of these are areas in which we intend to invest in. So the future of this area, of these parishes that have been damaged, will be quite different, but much better than we were anticipating or hoping for before Hurricane Melissa. So yes, Hurricane Melissa was a disaster. It created a crisis. But every crisis presents an opportunity, and we must not waste the opportunity that the crisis has given us. We will rebuild Jamaica much better than we ever thought it could be. And again, I want to thank our corporate citizens, New Era, for this contribution, significant contribution of 160 billion Jamaican dollars. And I want to thank our partners from Africa, Ghana, and Rwanda, and to thank our partners from CARICOM, specifically Guyana, who are contributing to this process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister. Commander Gale, once again, to give the closing remarks. Thank you.
PM, Mrs. Tadeo, thank you much for visiting with us today. The contributions made will definitely be put to the proper use as we seek to recover here in Western Jamaica. It is undoubtedly expected that our people will benefit from this effort. And thank you again, Prime Minister, for visiting with us. I'll now ask Ms. Delmars to invite us for the handover ceremony and for a few photo opportunities for this afternoon's program.
Thank you, PM. Please, you may come. At this time, the official closing of the formal presentation on behalf of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, of the Office of the Prime Minister. I thank you all for your presence today. This handover reaffirms our shared commitment to security, preparedness, and national unity. Safe travels. We now invite those persons to do the official handover to come this way. We're going to move the lectern here at this time. Thank you. Thank you. That's it? That's all? That's it? Nothing else? All right. Thank you so much.